country boy. I get up before the rooster, put on my camo, load up my bow and my rifle and stock the ammo. I'm a bully with the bullet, but I'm lethal with the arrow. Always down for the hunt, dove turkey and big bucks. Hit the woods and get fitted up. Mossy oak all across my fit, don't be surprised, we do this too. I be up before the sun with my 30 at 6. Hard body on, I ain't worried about the kick. Yeah, we do this too.
Welcome back, y'all. It's another edition of the We Do This Too Outdoors podcast. And as always, we are presented to you in partnership with brands that we feel represent the very best of the outdoor industry. So before we get started, we'd like to give a special shout out to Moultrie Products, Ullers Archery, Threads Custom Bowstrings, G5 Outdoors, Blackburn Apparel Company, Deer Pimp Scents and Lures, Vision Clothing, Bluebird Waterfowl Company, Angry Chicken Outdoors, Alps Outdoors, and last but certainly not least, a special shout out to the good folks over at Briley's for leaving a legacy of shooting innovation. Whether you need new cameras to elevate the scouting experience, new arrows, or anything for your archery setups, clothing, scent, or whatever it may be, as a supporter of the podcast, you can use promo code WDTT promo. That's WDTT promo for 15% off anything on the website at UllersArchery.com. Some exclusions may apply. With that being said, let's dive into another episode of the We Do This Too Outdoors podcast with your host, Mr. Courtney Williamson.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the We Do This Too Outdoors podcast. I'm your host, Courtney Williamson. I've got a super special guest on today, Mr. Richard Carter. How you doing today, brother?
Yeah, I'm great, man. Couldn't be any better.
That's what's up, man. I've been following this brother for a while on Instagram, man. He's a natural born killer in them woods. And let me tell you. You check out his Instagram, man. He's a family man. Looks like he's a member of the Divine Nine, which if you don't know what that is, you better get your research done. I do believe he's a member of A5A. Is that right?
That's correct.
Throw the wrong info out there. But this man is like I said, a family man, woodsman, outdoorsman. So glad to have him on the show today. So how'd you get introduced to the hunting world and the outdoors, brother?
Man, I got introduced to the hunting world by my wife's cousin TJ. I saw him hunting. I'm from Miami. I do a lot of fishing, so I fished off docks, off the side of the road all my young life. So, but nobody in my family even hunts. Like from my dad's side or my mom. But it was when I met my wife, I saw my cousin, he was hunting. He was like, oh yeah, TJ just come out the woods. I was like, let me see what that's about. And I ended up getting a 12 gauge pump, Benelli Nova. And that's where it really started my journey.
That's what's up. So Miami, Florida, man. So
yeah,
heard good things about hunting in Miami, man. I just ain't met it down there in a while. I got some buddies down there. They're big into gator hunting down there. Is that something you've done before?
No, I've never been gator hunting, but I have applied for the permit tags for Florida. So,
gotcha. Okay. Yeah. A guy I had on a couple weeks ago. He goes by the name of Dark Willie Nelson. Won't tell me his real name. Nobody knows how he got that name. That's the name he rocks with. But he's a big gator hunter. He's from Florida originally. I got an invite from him to go whenever, and I got a couple invites from some buddies last year to go. It just didn't line up with my schedule and everything. But Florida is definitely in the future to go down there, man. I love Florida.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of the water down there. I don't like big bodies of water. I hate the ocean. My wife loves it, but
I love it.
Some people hate it, some people love it, man. But I'm definitely gonna get down there and hopefully catch me a gator or two.
Oh yeah, we got plenty of them, so you gonna catch one for sure.
For sure, man. So, so how did you? What college did you go to that you pledged, man?
I went to Bethune-Cookman. I graduated from Bethune-Cookman University.
Okay.
Oh,
HBCU in the house. I see you.
yeah, man.
What year did you graduate?
Fall 13.
Do you remember Marcus Wells?
That name sounds familiar.
Marcus Wells, he lives in Miami, or no, he lives in LA now. He's from Indiana. He's from Indianapolis.
Oh, you might have to show me a picture of him, like when we get
Yeah,
off or something like that. But that name sounds familiar, though.
that's my little cousin, man. He went to Bethune-Cookman. He's A5A as well.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly when he graduated though, but he went to Bethune-Cookman. It was actually one of the schools I was looking at when I was on my journey. I ended up going to Western Kentucky University here in Kentucky, but
Okay.
Bethune-Cookman was on my list, and Grambling was my number one. And we went to Grambling, Louisiana, on a visit, and walked back to kind of the back part of the campus, and we're getting a tour, and this big old gator just starts walking through the middle of campus, and everybody's just not even paying any attention. I'm like, is this normal? And they're like, yeah,
Yeah.
people, gators come here all the time, man. We don't even worry about them no more. And I kind of looked at my dad, and Dad's like, I don't know about this, son.
Yeah, I got the Cookman off of my high school track coach. He was a alum of Cookman, and he's like, man, if you apply, man, I'll get you in the next day. And he just like you said, I got in the next day and told my mom, I was like, hey, this is where I'm going to school at, because I had originally was going to go to Miami-Dade Community College. I was going to stay home. But man, he was like, man, you need to get out of here and go see something different. And I took his advice and ended up being the best thing I ever did.
Yeah, that was my big thing, because I grew up in a real small town here in Kentucky, Magnolia, Kentucky. Most people don't know where it is until I tell them it's the same county that Abraham Lincoln grew up in. He was born and raised here, and then he moved to Illinois, and all he had, about 5 states claim him. But I'm an hour south of Louisville, Kentucky, which is where I'm right in the middle of bourbon country. So if you need any bourbon, holler at me.
Oh, I definitely gonna holler at you, because I got a lot of bourbon. I got a lot of bourbon.
Well, I work for Jim Beam, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, I can. They give us liquor all the time, man. I'm always, I don't drink, so it just stays on the shelf, and people come over, hey, partake, whatever. Just don't be stupid. Right. If you do get stupid, them car keys are going in my pocket. So
yeah, you definitely got to be responsible.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I wanted to get out of Kentucky, like this small town. So that's the reason I wanted to go far away. But I only ended up going about 45 minutes away. But it turned out good. And anytime, broke college kid, you needed money from your parents or something. I was only 45 minutes away. So I could go home pretty easy. But
I wish I could say the same. I'm from Miami. So I'm from a neighborhood called Liberty City. So if anybody know about Miami, it's like, hood area. So I really come from like that bottom. Like I went and get it. So
didn't they have a documentary on Liberty City out like a while back from or am I thinking? I think I might be thinking something else, but all the football players that came out of Liberty City, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. It's a ton of them. Too many to name. You probably, if I name them, I'm gonna leave somebody off.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I think I seen that documentary. Yeah, that's cool though, man. So what's your main thing in the woods to hunt? Are you just out there hunting whatever's in season? And what's your passion?
Right now, my love has kind of shifted to waterfowl over the past 4 years, because I got into waterfowl around the pandemic time. Same story, like everybody home chilling, and this is kind of around the same time 24/7 kind of took off. And then I saw some guys that looked like me, same skin color. It's like, oh, they hunt waterfowl. So I got, kind of was inquisitive and started learning about it. And that's how I ran into Easy. And then I went on a hunt with 24/7 one year. And then from that point on, it just kind of sparked my interest. I had already been, doing a lot of deer hunting and stuff like that, but waterfowl kind of just like took over. That just seeing them birds when they work, man, and they break them trees, yeah, it do something to you.
Trust me, I've told this story 1,000 times. This is my 3rd year in the waterfowl, and the first time I went, man, I was scared to death. Just put it that way. Standing in water up to my chest, terrible waders on. I'm freezing. It's dark. I'm on a boat. And my buddy was like, we're going to hit some stumps. We're going to hit some cypress trees, but we won't flip. And my eyes got as big as a softball. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why am I out here? And then my other buddy, Lance, he looked at me and he said, welcome to stupid white boy shit. That's exactly what he told me. And, but after, we got our decoys and stuff out, and man, watch the sky open up, and then birds started dropping in that hole and we started shooting. I was like, and then I looked at my buddy again. He's like, welcome to the show. He's like, you're hooked, ain't you? I said, dude, I'm there. I said, what I need to get. So started doing my research, I started buying decoys and upgraded my shotgun. That was one of the main things I did. But I tell people, man, like, it's one of them things that you have to do and go out there and just experience it for yourself. Like you're gonna have some hunts where it's lights out, birds dropping in the hole like crazy. You're gonna have some slow hunts. When you get on one of them good hunts, man, you're gonna get hooked. But so how'd you end up getting a hunt with 24/7? You went duck hunting with him, I'm guessing?
Yeah, that was all due to Easy, man. I think he just asked Raynar. It's like, hey man, I got somebody that's new in the hunting, and I guess Raynar did him a favor and allowed me to come along. Man, there was a lot of guys in the hole with us that day. Man, I would say probably was like 10, 11 guys in the hole, 3 dogs. Who else? I think it was a rep from like Gunner or something like that, Gunner Kennels or something. So yeah, it was a lot of people in the hole. It wasn't a very successful morning that day. We shot like 1 green head, and that was it.
Oh man, where was y'all in Florida? I'm guessing, or y'all somewhere
No,
on
we was in Oklahoma.
Got you. That's what's up though. Man, that's dope though. Yeah, I'd love to go hunt with them. I've hunted. So I've been on their dove hunt in Georgia twice.
Yes.
With them. That's where I met Easy and Renard and Daryl and Rick and all them for the first time. And then the second year, I went. I was gonna go this year, but time constraints and me getting hurt at work and all this other stuff just didn't work out. But I love Easy to death. That's my guy. I've had him on the pod. I've had Daryl on. I'd love to get Rick and Renard on, but they busy men this time of year, so I have to catch them in the off season. That's dope, man. But yeah, I used to be a big deer. Like I love deer hunting. Don't get me wrong, I still love it. But there's something about getting in that duck hole, man, in that timber or in that field chasing them geese, man. It is a whole different ball game, and I love it.
Yeah, nah. Something about when deer hunting gets slow for me or just in my area, man, my mind will shift, and I'll be like, where can I go get some success at? Like I'll go be like. I go check my phone, be like, what the tide looking like? See what time it is? I'm like, oh, I'm gone. I'm gonna go get my rods. I'm getting in my truck, get my cooler, buckets. I'm gone. I'm gonna go to the coast, go try to catch me some fish, man. I try to make something positive out of the day. If it's slow in the woods, I'm going. I mean, I kind of really cut my teeth at as far as in the outdoors is going fishing. Especially saltwater fish. I'm gonna make that more specific. Saltwater, not freshwater.
Yeah, saltwater. Yeah, you're in Miami, so or you grew up in Miami, so yeah. Have you heard of Power Circle Outdoors? Have you heard of them boys?
Yeah,
they're in Texas.
Yeah.
They do a lot of they do a lot of saltwater fishing down there. Bubba, the captain, he's a really good friend of mine. I call him OG. I think he was the first black guy in the whole state of Texas with a riding reel deal. I think he had a boat deal at the time as well. So he's got a lot of knowledge that I just love just listening to his stories, man. So
Yeah, I listened to that podcast when you interviewed him.
yeah, he calls me about every day now, man. He's like an uncle to me now, man. I'm like his nephew. Like he calls just to check up on me, see how I'm doing. And his son Pat, same way. And then I got another buddy named Justin. He lives down there too. So all three of them, we're on the phone every day talking about duck hunting and fishing and whatever. But I hadn't really been fishing. My dad passed in 14. That was my fishing buddy. And we catfished a lot. But since he passed, I've only been out there maybe once or twice with my son, just because it's just hard to be out there without him, man. And that's who got me into the outdoors with my father. So, but
Yeah.
but I know what you mean about the 24/7, man. They're one of the main reasons I started my brand.
Oh yeah.
I just happened to be on YouTube one day and 24/7 Hunt popped up and some brothers duck hunting. I'm like, who are these dudes? And I went down that rabbit hole. I watched every video that they had on YouTube. I said, dude, I got to get down there to meet these guys.
Yeah.
And my wife was fortunate enough to get me a ticket. I think it was for my birthday. And when it wasn't until September, my birthday's in July, but she's like, here you go. And then my buddy Dustin ended up going with me. We had a ball. And but I love what they're doing for the culture. I love what they're doing for the outdoors. They're breaking down a lot of stereotypes. Same thing I'm trying to do. They're just doing it on a whole lot bigger level because they've been in the game longer. And I can't thank them enough for it.
Yeah, I definitely want to make it to one of their hunts one day, but my daughter's birthday is August 31st. So it's always something coming up where it derails, and I don't even fight it. I just be like, okay, it is what it is. I already know what time it is. My daughter's birthday, whatever we doing, I'm just rolling with it. But if I ever get that window where I can like drift off, I'm gonna definitely try to take that ride and see what it's about.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, that'd be hard. August 31st, the season opens up. September 1st in most areas. So I understand that family is always gonna come first. So I respect that.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. So waterfowling. So what kind of gear are you running? Break it down for me. From the shotgun to the waders to the boat. If you got one, break it down.
Shotgun, I'm running with a Stoker 3500 and waders and base layer, outer layer, all Sitka right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's what's up. I was running Sitka there for a while, man, and I just got tired of trying to put the base layers together, trying to put that whole system together, and I was like, man, I'm spending way too much money. So everything I got now is all banded stuff. And, supposedly back in the day, before I got into waterfowl hunting, bandit had a bad rap of, waders leaking and this and that. But the two I've got right now, I ain't never had a problem out of. So hopefully they stick with me for a while. But I love their stuff. It keeps me warm enough. And I'm straight, but I used to rock the Sitka stuff. Some of my boys still rock that stuff, and ain't a problem with it. It's just personal preference. That's what I tell everybody. If you want to go waterfowl hunting, get what you can afford. Yeah. Don't try to break the bank because you will spend a lot of money and fast if you ain't careful.
Yeah, I mean, but if you think about it, all of it in waterfowl, everything is expensive. So you got to have a little change regardless what brand you go with. And I went with Sitka because of the 100%, the warranty. Right. And so that's what I was really introduced to by Easy. But when I went on that first hunt, I bought some, I think it might have been some Drake stuff. Mm-hmm. I just liked it the way Sitka pattern looked. It just looked more realistic. And so that's what I went with. And I tell everybody, man, hey, go with what you can afford and what you like. Don't let nobody tell you any different. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I had some Drake stuff. I had kind of a mixed bag of everything when I first started. I had some, like Academy stuff, had some Drake stuff, had some Madden stuff. But once I figured out what I like. But I love that Sitka pattern. But I love bottomland. I love Mossy Oak bottomland.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so happened the Bandit had a sale going on that year. I think it was last year around Black Friday, and they had all my sizes, and everywhere else was out of my size. So I was like, I'm gonna rock the Bandit.
Willie like bottomland.
Yeah, Willie, he loves bottomland too. Yeah, I'm a big bottomland guy, man. But yeah, man. So as an African American hunter, I asked everybody this, African American outdoorsman. I feel like some of these big name companies are missing like a big niche on this side of hunting, from our culture to our swag, just the way we talk. How do you think we could break down some of these like walls to some of these big name companies where they will start taking more and more chances on us?
That's a good question. Oh, I don't know really the answer to that, man. It's because they already feel like they already biting off our style. But they don't know how to like include us. They don't know how to like join us to the party. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll let a few of us in, but they won't let everybody in. Hang on, man. That's a good question.
The best answer that I've got so far, it was from my old guy, and he won't get on the podcast. He's OG. He don't trust cameras. He don't trust the computer, the internet. He's one of them old school cats. And I was just sitting there. Just picking his brain one day. He was in Hardee's in a restaurant, just eating breakfast. And he said, "Man, I love what you're doing." He said, "Keep at it." And I said, "Well, how do you think we can break down some of these stereotypes of these big name companies?" He said, "Well," he said, "I don't think it'll ever happen to the point where it'll be a lot of us there." He said, "It's going to be like the token few, and like it's always been." I said, "Well, why do you think that is?" He said, "Man, to be honest," he said, "I've been on this earth for 80 something years." He said, "People are scared of the unknown." And I said, "Well, explain, dive deep into that for me." He said, "Well, basically," he said, "back in the day, and there's a stereotype out there that most black people are thugs or gangsters, they're this, they're that, but they don't see the side of the black folks that grew up like some of them grew up. I grew up hunting and fishing in a small town. I didn't grow up in an inner city. So I feel like he was basically breaking it down to where if they do take a chance on us and we do mess up, they can be like, "Oh, we knew that it was coming," because that's how they were, that's how they're raised, that's how they're born and stuff like that. So he's like, "Just keep doing it. It'll eventually happen one day, hopefully." He said, "But you're on the right track." I said, "Man, I'm not looking to get rich, famous. I'm just basically looking for that boy or that little girl that was like me growing up, that didn't see anybody like them, that looked like me on TV. And I was super interested in it. And even to the point where I got to college, I hid it for so long that most of my friends were like, 'Man, where are you going on the weekends?' When September hit, every weekend I was gone. I was hunting. I just hid it. And then finally they were just like, 'Man, we knew your country ass was doing something, dog. Like, you did. You got the Southern twang. You always got Carhartt on when it gets cold. Like, we knew you was country.' But he's like, 'Man, you didn't have to hide it from us. We your boys. We're gonna accept you no matter what.' And from that day on, I never hid it anymore. So if somebody asked me about it, I tell them about it. But I was trying so hard to fit in with these people because I grew up in a small town where I was the only black guy on most of my teams growing up, and there wasn't a lot of us in our high school. So when I got to college, it was a culture shock. It was the most black people I'd ever seen in my life. So I was trying my hardest to fit in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, with this last homecoming, everybody was like, "Hey, man, where Rich at, man?" Nah. And one of my partners texted me like, "Hey, where you at?" And I texted, I sent him a picture. And I was out in Titusville. I was fishing with one of my other guys that Willie connected me with. And because this year I was like, man, I'm tired of going to Daytona and not doing exactly what I really want to do, which is fish. Because back in school, I didn't do it a lot because I was a student athlete, so I ran track and field, so I just didn't get to fish a lot. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go fishing this time. This year, I put my rods in my truck, had coolers, I had everything that I needed that I would normally have on this end. I brought it down there, and that's what I did. And actually, I was a lot more happier this homecoming than anything. So
That's what's up. Yeah. Yeah, everybody keeps trying to get me to come back for homecoming, man. I ain't went back. It's been a while. It's been probably 10 or more years. My best friend that hunts with me, we've been best friends since we were kids. He had an accident at the last homecoming that we went to. He was basically, he'd been hauling diesel and he'd been hauling hay in his truck. And he put the stove back there, the grill back there, and then put all those coals, and it caught fire. And he was in a hospital in Nashville, Vanderbilt, for like 3-4 months, getting skin grafting and stuff. Like it damn near killed him. He died twice in the helicopter just getting there, but they brought him back twice. So me and him just kind of, we ain't been back since. But this next coming year, we talking about making plans to go back. That's the only reason we ain't been back. But I was getting text messages, all kind of things. Man, where you at, man? Like, you need to come back. Like, you ain't but 45 minutes away. I said, I know, man. I'm out in the woods. I'm doing this. I'm doing that, man. I kind of lose track of time, but I'm definitely going back. I got to see my boys. So
yeah.
But yeah, man. So what upcoming hunts you got planned for this year or next year? You going anywhere? You staying around home, or what you got planned?
Probably it's gonna be probably late December or like that MLK. Probably try to hit up Arkansas again, and shoot, that's about it, really, man. Or it's just by whatever. My other partner Bryant hit me up. He lives in Mississippi, in Madison, and he hit me up, say if it's some birds in Arkansas, and then I'm hitting the road. Then I normally hit Kenny and see if he want to roll with me, and so if he can get off, and if he ain't on call schedule, then shoot, we hit it up there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's a police officer, right?
Yeah, he's in K.
Gotcha. Yeah, I had him on. Kenny's a good dude, man.
Yeah,
him and Willie both, man. I enjoyed both those podcasts I did with those guys, man. I'm definitely looking forward to hunting with them in the future. And you too, man. If we can get something together, man, because I'm always down to hit the road. So
man, I'm down to hunt with some like-minded folks, man. Shit, the last hunt we had, my boy Bryant, he had some guys from Mississippi. It was like 3 of them, and so it was like 7 of us total in the hole, and so we had a great opener, man. That was the first like hang up, like like Lord, I've been hunting for the past 4 years. I have yet to have like a bang up, smash up hunt, and I mean the first 2 days were like no other. Like the first day it was just birds dropping in the hole. Second day we were able to like pick and choose. We didn't want to shoot teal, wanted to work more green. We shot some teal, but we were just picking. It was like almost like a gentleman's hunt, man, because we were just, there was no care. Like we were just really relaxed, man, because the first day had us on a high. Like we was just, none can top that. So
right. That's dope. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting in the hole with some like-minded gentlemen, just to pick their brains. Because I'm new to the waterfowl scene still. Just can't blow a duck call worth a damn still. I got one in my truck that I keep in there, keep one in the house. It's just one of them things that it ain't looking good at this point. But I gotta just keep on trying it and keep on working at it. But I'm definitely looking forward to going out of state to hunt, man. I've always heard Arkansas was the place to go. So so how is Arkansas? I mean, I've heard good and bad stories, but like, is it what people claim to be, like the duck capital of the world, technically?
yeah, It is because, man, we went in the last year. Me and Kenny went in the max. It was me, Kenny, and Brian. And some guys thought we was 24/7, and we was like, no, we not 24/7. It's like, oh man, we thought y'all 24/7 because 3 black guys together, so they thought we were 24/7. We like, no, we not.
Yeah, I've ran in that a few times myself because I got a bunch of their hats and hoodies and stuff like that. They're like, man, you would 24/7? I was like, nah, man. I said, I know some of the guys in 24/7. I ain't in the crew. And I had a kid at my buddy's gun shop one time. I was down there just getting my bow tuned. A little kid, he's probably 6, 7 years old. He comes up to me with a piece of paper and was like, can you sign this for me? And I'm like, do you know me? I'm thinking he follows my brand or something. And his dad was like, you're one of the 24/7 guys. I was like, no, I'm not. I got the stuff on, but I ain't. I was like, I can't even do that to him. His little guy. I said, I'm sorry to break your heart. He's like, oh man. I was like, I got a channel. I was like, you can check it out.
Man,
I said, I ain't as big as it. It was pretty funny.
We leaving out of the hole, and it was these guys in a pontoon boat. They was like, hey. We was like, we thinking like, oh shoot, we came through there like, making big wakes because they had decoys out already. They were just in there blind. And it was like, come here, come. So we go down the back of their pontoon, and they was like, I got 24/7. I was like, no. And then one of the guys was like, I told you, you dummy. I told you it wasn't there. Me and Kenny just bust out laughing, bro.
Yeah, it's funny though. I mean, because 9 times out of 10, you see some black dudes in the hole, and if you watch enough YouTube and on social media enough, that duck, who that duck, even if you don't see that duck, it's like, oh, that's got to be 24/7,
Yeah.
So it is pretty funny though.
But man, Arkansas is like it is the duck capital, man. Everybody, I think it's better now. And when I say it's better, because now they give us 30 days, and like everybody doesn't try to cram up in those windows that they used to give us. So man, every duck hunts everywhere. Now, last year when we went to, what was that, Dave Donaldson, like Kenny said on his interview, man, we was like number 30 boat, and we got beat to the hole. Of course, we got beat to the hole that we wanted to get to, and we ended up just hunting with some guys that we didn't even know, and now we still cool with them. We still message each other on Instagram and stuff. So you never know, man.
Yeah, I met a lot of guys at the NWTF convention I go to every year in Nashville. Me and my wife, my son. That's how I made a lot of my connections, man. If you ain't never been down there.
Man, I used to live in Nashville from 2014 to 2018 and never went to the NWTF.
Man, you actually lived in Nashville.
Never went. Because I never I didn't know anybody. Like I had moved up there for work. So I was like, man, I ain't gonna go to this, by myself, man. I have nobody to converse with, you know what I'm saying? So never went.
Man, we go every year and we have a ball. Last year was the first year I took my son, and I'm saying they was giving my son duck calls, turkey calls, hats, shirts, and I always carry a backpack because I never know what I'm gonna end up buying. I hadn't bought a thing, and it was all my son's stuff in there. And he's like, "Daddy, I got this. Daddy, I got this," and you ain't getting nothing. I'm like, I'm bringing you every year.
He brings the free gear.
Yeah, he entered the turkey calling contest for the kids, man. Had never called a turkey call before. He got on that box call and started hitting. I had to send you the video, dog. Like he hit it like he'd been doing it for 10 years. And I'm like, kind of looking at him as Cuz Strickland was doing it. And I'm a big fan of Cuz Strickland, but I've been watching him since, Michael Waddell back in the day.
He's on YouTube now too, right?
Yeah, he's on YouTube now too. Cuz he's got a podcast too called Fistful of Dirt. I listen to every about every episode. But he kind of looked at me. He's like, "Has he ever done that before?" I said, "He's never even picked up a turkey call." And he said, "Man, you might want to get him a turkey call." So now I got him duck calls. He's got turkey calls in there, wood ducks, mallard, teal, turkeys. Or he's got everything in there. He just walks around the house. I know it drives my wife crazy because I'm back here trying to blow a duck call. He's in the living room trying to, get the turkey call. She's just like, I said, that's what you get. You married a hunter. So, and
my daughter, she tries to blow my duck calls. I got me a duck call last year. I got a TCL cut down, and man, I've been working that call, practicing every day, like every day. I record myself and I'll send like some sound files to my boy Brian, and then he'll listen to them, tell me where I need to get better at or do this, do that. So now I actually was able to call in my first two green heads by myself with a little bit of help from Kenny. That all paid off, man. Just practicing, drive my wife crazy and drive my daughter crazy too. So it was worth it.
Yeah, that's when your work is calling your first duck in. That's what I'm looking forward to, because usually I'm with some boys and they're calling them in for me. I'm a pretty good shot, but I want to get to the point where I can go just take my son out or take somebody else with me that's never done it and call one in and be good. But I ain't at that point yet. I don't know when I'm gonna be to that point, but I'm gonna keep on practicing until I get it.
I still got a lot to learn though. I still got a lot to learn, man. I ain't my glass is empty, so if somebody can still pour into me, man, I still got a lot to learn.
Yes, me, man. I try to pick something up from everybody that I have on here, whether it's deer hunting, turkey hunting, duck, whatever. But lately, the past, I think five or six people that I've had on here, they're big in the waterfowl. So I try to pick their brains as much as I can and try to learn something from everybody, because you can never learn too much, man. You know what I'm saying? You can always add something to your bag.
For sure.
Yeah, man. So if you could go anywhere and hunt anything, where are you going and what you hunting for?
I'm going to Alaska. And I want a Sitka. Is it a Sitka deer?
Yep, Sitka deer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You try bow hunting or rifle hunting?
Right. I haven't gotten the bow hunting. Willie and Kenny, they've been ragging me for a good little minute. It's like, man, you need to get a bow, man. You don't know what you missing. And it's like, yeah. I crossed that line.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, once you get into that archery, man, it's a whole different beast. You'll put that rifle up. I didn't think I'd ever do it. Like, I still go out with my rifle some, but I'd much rather go bow hunting.
Right now, when I shoot buck, man, I don't even really get buck view. I mean, that doesn't mean that I have lost the love or the thrill of going out, but it's just like I don't get that jitter anymore. So it's like I might need to see what bow hunting to do.
Yes, it's dope. I mean, there's everybody now, 2025 almost, everybody makes a good bow. You just got to go shoot something and pick whatever's comfortable for you, because people's going to tell you, well, you need to be shooting Matthews, you need to be shooting Hoyt, you need to be shooting Bowtech. Just go shoot them all. If you can find a shop that's got a lot of brands, and just pick what's best for you, what feels the best, because I've had bad luck with Matthews through the years. Bowtech was my first bow I had. The older ones, I was having, cam issues, limb issues, or whatever. I've shot Matthews, I've shot PSE. I'm shooting a prime now. I just love the draw cycle on the prime, because I've had shoulder injuries in the past from sports and stuff like that. And it's just, for me, that's most comfortable. Like my shotgun, I shoot a Rite just because I like the way it fits in my shoulder and I like the way it shoots. Some people tell you, I need to be shooting a Beretta or Benelli. It's just, it's all personal preference. Everybody makes a good gun. Everybody makes a good bow. Just
Yeah, I'm a Benelli guy. That just was my first shotgun. It was a Pump Nova, and one of my coworkers, he advised me to get it, and he was kind of just telling me it's all around good shotgun, whether it be for waterfowl, deer hunting, squirrel hunting, whatever. So that's just where I've been at, just with Benelli from the start. So I'll see what they had too. So, but that's where I've been at.
ain't nothing wrong with it, man. Yeah, I got buddies that are big Benelli guys. I got buddies that are Beretta guys. I've got some that are, Rite guys, Winchester. It's whatever you feel comfortable with, man. That's what I tell them. But
yeah, whatever you're comfortable with and what you can afford.
Right. Yeah, that's another big thing.
Man, as long as that gun cycle, man, you can kill a duck.
Yeah. What kind of shells do you shoot? You shoot a Pacific type shell? I'm one of them guys. I shoot whatever I can find that's on sale. I ain't gonna front.
No, man, I like the 2 3/4. I like the 2 3/4 better because I can get back on the gun better. That 3-inch just got a lot of kickback to it. So this year I was going with a 2 3/4, and I was able to follow up shots better this year than I have in past years. So that's where I think I'm gonna be at. And it was folding birds, so pillowing them. So I'm like, yeah, I'm right here.
Is there a specific brand that you use, or you just run whatever 2 3/4 you can find?
This year I went with a Winchester, like a steel shot number 6. Because my boy Patrick, he was like, man, you need to check them number 6s out. He's like, man, stop by Bass Pro, get you some number 6s. I said, all right, I'm gonna get you some number 6s. So I shot those, and I was like, yeah, that's where I'm gonna be at for the rest while I'm waterfowl hunting. But I have seen some good stuff from that Migra 4.6 stack. That tungsten bismuth load. So if I hit the woods again, I'm gonna try those shells out and see what they do.
Yeah, we got to go about 2 hours away to my wife's cousin's. She's graduating from UK, so we got to go to Lexington.
Mm-hmm.
They got a sportsman's warehouse over there, and they sell Migras. So I'm gonna pick a couple boxes at 4.6 up. They got it because I've heard basically all year. That's all I've heard. Everybody shooting and just pulverizing ducks. So I'm like, I gotta try that out.
Yeah, I was shooting Kents, but Kents were just like real dirty for my gun. So I got away from Kents, and then I landed over with a little bit of Migra. I was shooting 1 year. I shot their 2.4 stack, and so then this year I shot some 6s, and I like the 6s better.
Yeah. I had a buddy that he was nothing but Black Cloud, but the new gun he bought a Super X4, and he said, man, I'm cleaning my gun way too much. He's like, which it ain't a big problem. He said it's a lot really dirty for my gun. So he went to that 4.6 stack, man, and he's had a pretty good season. I mean, he's like, dude, these things hit like a Mack truck when they hit a bird.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I need to get my hands on some of that stuff then. So that's definitely in the works, because I seen where 24/7, I guess they got a sponsorship with Migra, and they were passing them out at the duck or the dove hunt this year. So I think Migra's gonna be.
I got 2 boxes of those that new dove load, but I didn't get to hunt dove this year because a hurricane came through this area, well, maybe like 2 hours west of us, and we ended up evacuating to Montgomery, so I didn't even hunt dove this year.
Yeah, that was it Helen that hit or whatever, one of them hurricanes, man.
One of them hurricanes. I can't remember.
Yeah, it tore up a lot of things. I got my best friend's brother, which I call him my brother too. He lives in Savannah, Georgia, and he was getting a lot of he pretty much flooded his whole house, and he's arguing with State Farm now, I think, about trying to get everything fixed. But I didn't realize the structure stuff called, man.
Yeah, Georgia got hit hard.
Yeah.
I'm glad it shifted. I mean, because what, like a year ago, we had like 3 tornadoes touch down in Tallahassee. So people are still recuperating from that. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we get a lot of hurricanes. Well, I would say a lot of hurricanes up here in Kentucky, but we get them quite often. But I couldn't imagine being around that much water during a hurricane. I can't swim and either. I ain't got no boat. I just
nah, man, I done been through so many hurricanes living in Florida, man. It's second nature now.
yeah, that's what they say. I got my buddies that live in Houston. They say the same thing, man. It's like you've been through them so much, it just turns into second nature. You'll stay and bunker down unless they tell you like it's gonna be a real bad one, and then you'll evacuate. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, man, I got a hypothetical question I try to ask everybody. Basically, inner city kid. You got an inner city kid. Let's just say he's a male. He's from Florida. He's getting in a lot of trouble at school. We got a lot of gangs after him. He's wanting to get into hunting, fishing, just being an outdoorsman. He's getting a lot of flack from some of his friends saying he'll never make it because of the color of his skin, so forth and so on. What advice would you give him about starting his outdoor journey?
Man, just find a good mentor that is gonna teach you the ropes. I know that sounds cliche, but that's the best way to go. I wish I did have like a kid that was in that arena or kind of with that situation, and I would teach him what I know, man, and show him the ropes. Teach him first. Teach him safety. Teach him gun safety. I mean, that's the most important thing. Take him to a hunter education class so he can learn about the woods and learn about the different birds and then animals and things of that nature. So that's what I would do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's one of my major focuses going forward with my brand. I'd like to get some of the inner city kids from, like Baltimore, Louisville, Memphis, New Orleans, and just bust them in. Just teach them hunter safety, teach them boating safety, teach them how to shoot a bow,
Yeah.
how to skin their own animals, how to tie a tie.
I know Steve Harvey does that a lot. He got a ranch that he busts in hundreds of kids, and they do a lot of that stuff on his ranch.
Yeah, that's what I'd love to do, man. Just to give them something else to, possibly keep them off the street and possibly out of the graveyard. You know what I'm saying? Just give them a different avenue to look down, and maybe they could pass it on to somebody else that's going down the wrong road too. So.
But hey, I mean, but I can be like, if I had a kid like that, I would tell them, look at me, because I was an inner city kid living, in Miami, Liberty City. I mean, you got gangs, you got violence, you got drugs everywhere. And look where I'm at.
Right.
I'm married with a wife, a kid, what I'm saying, college degree, joined a fraternity, I've traveled the world, seen some things. So, I mean, just tell them to keep pushing, man.
Yeah, that's what you got to
Come
do.
from a home, like my dad was in and out of prison. I mean, that could be some of the situations of these other kids. So I got a lot that I could relate with them than people know about.
That's what's up. Yeah, because that's a lot of questions I get, like from some of the parents that I've talked to, some of the kids just around here that are, going down the wrong road. Like, I don't want my son around guns. I don't want my son around that stuff like that. And I'm like, it's a discipline thing. It's kind of like boxing or karate or something you put your kids in. It's all about the discipline. And I feel like it would help some of these kids. I don't feel like if I taught them how to shoot a gun, they'd go out and shoot somebody. I feel like, they'd call me and be like, hey man, let's go hunting today, or let's go fishing today, just to keep them off the street. Even if I was like, you're gonna get made fun of, I got made fun of for it, but to keep you off the street, keep you out of jail, that's something you might need to look down. It might be something different. You might want to go take art classes or ballet classes or something, just something else to keep these kids off these streets, man. I feel like it's getting bad out here, man. I think kids nowadays, man, have it 10 times worse than we had, and I'm 38 years old.
Yeah.
But it's getting bad out here, man.
I don't know. I feel like the influence of social media has a big part of that. Because like kids, I mean, a lot of people say it this way, but like kids ain't going outside anymore. Like
Right.
when I was young, when I got to school, I ran outside, man. They weren't about video game.
Right.
Social media and TikTok, it's different, man.
Yeah. You had to drag me in the house, man. You know, I grew up in the country anyway, but like I didn't have no street light that I had to be home for street lights came on, nothing like that. But when it got dark, you start inching closer to the house. But I would either be at my best friend's house across the field, or I'd be up at my uncle's house watching him do something, weld or farm or something. I grew up on a big tobacco farm, so but some of these kids that didn't do that, like you said, I don't see, even in my town I grew up in, when I was a kid, there was kids outside all the time. Ain't nobody outside no more. Everybody's in the house doing this,
Yeah, kids don't even know about playing street football, like 5-on-5 in the street. You know what I'm saying? Like playing touch football. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. That's why I got a lot of my cuts and scrapes and bumps, and you know what I'm saying? Like just having outside, man, just playing.
Yep. So, they don't know about that no more. Everybody's wanting to be in the house on social media or playing them video games or just not wanting to go outside, man. I feel like it's impacted our youth big time. They didn't grow up like we did. And, some of these inner city kids, I don't blame them for not wanting to go outside. Because, I mean, you got gang right down the road or right down the street trying to get you to join. Kids getting shot left and right, man. It's just, it's bad out here, man.
Yeah, I just saw the other day there was in Thomasville, a kid shot somebody or like that, and I saw the one in Ohio where a kid killed some students and whatnot. So it's getting a little rough.
Yeah, it is, man. So, but yeah, man, I definitely appreciate you taking your time out. You're busy. I know everybody's busy this time of year for Christmas and everything like that, for hopping on the podcast and everything, man. So how can people get a hold of you through social media if they want to ask you any questions or anything about this podcast or whatever?
Facebook, I think I'm under my first and last name. And then Instagram, I did change my name because it's like hard for people to spell the word King Caesar. So I changed it to Tails and Feathers. So like the word tails _ND _feathers. Tails _ feathers. So
yeah, because I was trying to get a while back. It's when I first started podcasting. I was trying to get Jim Caesar on, and I typed in his name, and your name popped up, and I'm like, this ain't him.
Yeah.
I said, well, maybe it is. And I was like, well, no, I said, this can't be the same guy or whatever. And I was talking to Kenny, and he was talking about, Richard Carter. And I said, I think that's King Caesar on Instagram. I follow him. And he's like, yeah. Like it is, it's hard to spell it if you ain't, so, tails and feathers. Because I think when I looked you up earlier, that's what it says.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, that was my line name. So that's why it's just been like, that's the tag that I've had since I started an Instagram account. So really.
I guess. What number were you?
5.
Number 5. I'll use the tall one.
Nah, actually, I was a short one. I got a line of 14.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. Yeah, I got to get you in touch with I got to call him and see if he knows you. Or I'm about to, when we get off here, I'll show you a picture of him or whatever. I know y'all had to cross paths somewhere down in there, but I'm not sure what year he ended up graduating. But I know he's a Bethune-Cookman graduate. He lives in LA now, and he does like a lot of video photography and stuff like that, short stories, short film, stuff like that. So I don't know if you know him or not, but we'll talk about that when we get off here. It's all good. Okay. So, but yeah, man, this podcast will be out on all streaming platforms. Blessed to get this brother on. Love what he's doing, and if I can do anything for him in the near future, or future, whatever he's got going on, I'm just a phone call away. So y'all make sure to give this one a like, give it some comments, 5-star rating. It helps me out, helps the podcast out, and everything like that. But stay strong in them woods. Big game, small game, all game. We do this too. Out.
All right, man.
Appreciate you, big dog.
Yep.